Is there really a power gain from the downpipe on the B9 3.0T? IE claims they made the same power with the stock cat. We wouldn't say the same, but the gain is small.
Small. I mean, it was enough that we did feel that we wanted to rework boost control and some other factors as well. So there was certainly changes in flow improvements. From a sheer ultimate power, peak power level, we did make a little more power on it. So yeah.
I mean, if the high flow cat flows more, then you have an opportunity to make more power. I guess it would be interesting to know what high flow cat they tested. There are some quote unquote high flow cats out there that look like they flow the same as stock, in which case it wouldn't be surprising. There are some high flow cats out there that look like they don't do anything. Our high flow cats, which are for racing use only, feature a Euro 4 catalytic converter, which is a very clean running catalytic converter, but we've made the passages bigger so that it to the point where it still maintains Euro 4 emissions ratings, but it flows more than the stock cat. In fact, what we see with our high flow cats is that they make power that's more consistent with a test pipe, not the stock cat. In this day and age, though, I will say, don't feel like you need to go to stage 2. I mean, there's not that much power, and I guess I'll say, even though we don't necessarily, I don't know what IE's position is, but based on what was characterized here, I would say I don't agree with that 100%, but I agree with it more than I disagree with it. And this is something we're discussing here. The emissions landscape is not getting easier. This is not a California issue. This is a nationwide and worldwide issue. The EPA has really stepped up their efforts to enforce the Clean Air Act, which all of my parents and the baby boomer generation passed, and rightfully so. Without the Clean Air and Water Act, God knows what we would be breathing or drinking right now. And even with it, our air and water supply is continually being jeopardized. In fact, if you want to freak out about the future, go read about the pollution of all the aquifers in the U.S. From fracking and other industrial activities. There are poisonous chemicals in our water supply that nobody knows how to get rid of, and they continue to build. So, I'm not trying to be like environmental or political or a tree hugger, but I think we can all agree that if you're going to drink water with poison in it that gives you cancer, it's a bad thing. Okay, so we're evaluating continually what we want to do here and what we can do. Thankfully, the bright silver lining in all this is that Audi and Volkswagen are producing factory catalytic converters that can support a ton of power. And so on our B9 S4 tunes, you can get 75% of the power gain from stage 1 to stage 2. You can get it with 1+, which is just an intercooler and an intake.
Yep.
And so, 75% of the difference is just from that. And you don't need the high flow cat. So I think more and more we're going to be moving towards encouraging people not to do, racing cats and this type of stuff, and really supporting the customers that are interested in keeping their factory emissions systems intact, which is required for
if you're on the street,
and
if you're on the street,
non-racing use. Even if you're off-road, unless you're in a racing series, you still need to be emissions legal. And again, thankfully, we're making a shit ton of power, and I think moving forward, our goal is to continue to prove how much power the factory systems can make without needing to be modified.
Yep.
And it is getting more and more risky to do as a company and as a consumer as well.